All right, guys, when the leaves start falling, it is time to make sure your heated water system is ready for the upcoming winter. I'm about to show you how to do that right now. First thing we want to do, come out to your coop, come out to your heated water system. We're going to remove, in this case, the leaves on top, and I want to go down in and pull the de-icer out. Now, ours doesn't look too bad. We are plugged in, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug that. And then actually, while we're right here, we are going to unplug the pump to the water bar, and we are going to grab the thermostatic switch known as the heat it. What we want to do right now is we're actually going to go inside. I'm going to show you guys the right way to clean this, and ours actually doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to show you anyways, and then what we're going to do to test to make sure these are ready for winter. So let's go. Okay, so again, ours has been sitting in the rain barrel for about a year. Doesn't look too bad. Every situation will be different. You're going to have some manganese or some calcium, maybe some iron buildup, but my opinion, the best thing to do is get a shallow pan and put it in your sink. I love that ours just happens to fit beautifully, and you don't have to go crazy, but the idea is you can use CLR. I think that's going to be too much of an abrasive chemical, but we're just going to take a little bit of white vinegar and kind of dump it just like that. We just made a little bathtub for the de-icer with some white vinegar, and I'm probably going to get in trouble. I'm just going to steal the brush for doing dishes. And the idea is that the vinegar should help start to break up some of those deposits. I think it neutralizes it. And the idea is you don't want a lot of stuff on the de-icer, stopping it from its efficacy of warming up and obviously keeping the water from freezing. So we're just going to kind of give it a quick scrub, just rinsing it right underneath fresh water. And then, this is one of the most important parts. We want to make sure not only that it's going to work for us this winter, we also might have to have that little switch inside go through a reset. So the way we do that, I'm going to take the heat it, just make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to come right over here to the freezer. I'm going to set the thermostatic switch, the heat it right there. I'm going to stuff the de-icer inside the freezer. And the whole point to that is we're making it think it's cold outside. And we're going to leave it in there for about 45 minutes, and I'll show you what's next. All right, it's been 45 minutes. We're going to pull out the de-icer, and we're going to pull out the heat it. I guess the first thing I want to do is notice there's a little indication light right there if it turns on or not. It is on, so that tells me that is working. And more importantly, we're going to take, oh yeah, this thing is, we just cleaned it, so it's definitely showing signs of it's frozen. Okay, we just plugged it in, and we should, within a couple seconds, look at that. You can already see it's starting to warm up, and this is definitely working. So that tells me it's ready to go for the winter, but more importantly, because of the drastic temperature, that's getting hot, because of the drastic temperature change, it is what the manufacturer calls a reset on that switch that's on the inside. So these are both ready to go be put back into the heated water system. All right, so we're back out to the basic water system. We're going to turn it back into a heated water system. We verified that our de-icer is working, so I'm going to drop that back into the barrel. And actually, one of the things to always remember is these are designed for plastic containers, and you want them to land on the feet just like this. Keeps this off the bottom of the barrel. What I can tell you is it's like a cat. It always lands on its feet. I have tried to get it to go upside down. I have yet to be able to do that, but just food for thought. Make sure when you put it down inside the barrel that it lands on its feet, which again is almost impossible to get it to not to. All right, so we're just going to stick that in there and put the screen back in. Now, the next thing we need to do for winter is we got to make sure, take a look inside your barrel. If you see a lot of debris, dump it out, clean it out, get it back to just get it cleaned out on the inside. It's not rocket science. However, right now I just did that. Our barrel looks really good, and I don't want to make a mess out here if I don't have to, but I want to show you something that's very, very important when it comes to making sure we have no restriction. What I want to do right now is test what our flow rate is. So I'm just going to unplug the pump from the heat it, plug the pump directly in, get it flowing, and what we want ideally is 1 gallon in 60 seconds. So I'm gonna unplug or unhook, unscrew the discharge hose, and we're gonna go ahead and start a timer. Let me know when you're ready. Alrighty, and go. Time. Was that 1 minute? 1 minute exactly. Perfect. The other thing too is I'm going to check this. Yep, that's a really good flow. We have really good flow. So I feel very good about the system. I've made sure that the bottom of the hose bib is flushed out. I made sure that water is able to circulate. Come on. Through the entire system, from the rain barrel, through the inlet hose, through the pump, through the water bar, back through the discharge hose, back into the rain barrel. Okay, I'm gonna turn this back on. Now there's a very good chance I have air now in the system. And I know that our water bar is elevated to the opposite end of the pump, which is what you want, so air is forced to escape, because the pump is not self-priming. But as long as the air can escape, it will prime. So I'm gonna plug it in. It's already starting to pump water. There might be a couple air bubbles, no big deal at all. And actually everything looks really good. So what I'm gonna do now is make sure that I plug the heat it, which is again the thermostatic switch, back into my power source, and I'm gonna plug the pump into the heat it. Again, the de-icer has its own internal thermostatic switch. The pump does not, so that's what we need this for. So we're gonna plug that into there. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is plug the de-icer in. I do recommend having it elevated so that it's not sitting in the snow. Just secure it up there like that and you'll be in good shape. All right guys, I hope that was extremely helpful. We don't want your chickens to run out of water in the wintertime, and more importantly, we don't want you to have to deal with something you shouldn't have to. So if you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them down in the comments section, or you can always give us a call, 919-794-3989. Later.